Good afternoon and welcome to Cleveland Browns Daily on ESPN Cleveland. Cleveland Browns Daily presented by Ballybet, an official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Nathan Segura and Gibbot.
Hi.
What's up, dude?
It's the first Friday. Can it get to Friday, please?
It is a first Friday.
This week is not moving quickly.
Speak for every day is the same in my house. You wake up in the middle of the night, you give a bottle, a little crying, a little cooing. Although today he kind of said he's kind of like we're like hi, and he's like hi, but I mean obviously he didn't say hi, but it was still pretty exciting. It's a big moment in the household.
There are big there will be plenty of big moments like this.
That was a big one there. It's beautiful out. You have league tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
It's the swag scramble. So you got to bring something to give away, and it's a nice little night. It's also the champions dinner.
Are you a champion?
No. My nephew, that's half of my age, back to back, running it back.
Back to back
as the champ. So the dinner better be a little bit better than it was.
So the champ has to pay for the dinner?
With our dues.
Okay.
Our due. You know, he has a budget.
So he picks what is on the menu.
Yeah.
What was on the menu last year?
What was on the menu?
You didn't like it?
It could have been a little better. Things. You got to have enough food for 20 guys.
Okay.
Like, they're coming ready to eat once we get off the course.
Yeah.
So you kind of you need to step your game up a little bit. You got to have alcohol. You got I had to go on an alcohol run for him, like a little beer run.
How big is this budget?
I would say it's probably like $500.
Okay, that's what I thought it had to be.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
So though, just to be fair, we're doing the math for 20. That's $25 a person. That's not.
Well, that's fine.
You got to make
fine.
yeah.
I think it was a very eye-opening experience for him last year. It was fine last year.
All
I'm
right.
looking forward to what happens now that you're a repeat champion.
If I had $25 a person, I'm probably going Mexican, tacos, quesadillas, burritos, just a massive spread of Mexican.
That's fine.
And a few bottles of tequila and some beer.
You don't even need the liquor. If you just had the beer, everybody's fine.
I think you get a lot of bang for your buck though if you get some Terramana out there, a couple $30 bottles of tequila, it'll go a long way.
Rick likes that. The one guy in our league. 100%. Right. You're speaking his language.
That's what I would do in that situation.
Yeah. No.
All right, so hold on. I have to ask you again.
I think he did a little pasta. I think it was like a sausage and peppers, which it was good. It was good. There wasn't a lot.
There wasn't enough.
So by the time you got to the end, it was kind of like, all right, I might need to grab something on the way home.
I think you could do a $400 Taco Bell order or a $300 Taco Bell order, and
no one gets
really
hurt.
Please the people.
No one gets hurt. I would love it. Chipotle, the Chipotle catering. Just do Chipotle the catering.
Yeah. What about a bunch of trays of Chick-fil-A nuggets?
Okay, fine. I'm good.
People would be fine with that.
Give me a little Polynesian sauce.
For sure.
I require the sauce.
Yeah.
The only sauce.
It is the only sauce. It's the only sauce I've ever had.
The only sauce that matters.
So let me ask you this. So
all right.
The other day I got Chick-fil-A for Miss K was having a craving. She wanted Chick-fil-A. So I was like, all right, what's your order? She wanted a plain chicken sandwich, an iced tea, and fries. So she wanted the plain chicken sandwich combo. That's all she said. So that's what I got her. And I got myself, I think I got the Big L, let's go. Got a spicy, maybe got 2 spicies and 1 plain.
Okay.
So I bring it home.
It's a lot of sandwiches.
And she's like, where's the Chick-fil-A sauce?
Oh, boy.
I'm like, what do you mean? I said, there was no ask for any sauces. And I eat the sandwiches plain. I eat the nuggets. If I get nuggets, I'll ask for a Polynesian sauce.
Yeah, see, I get the Polynesian sauce when we're on the charter flight.
Yeah, of course.
I get the wrap.
Yeah, sure.
I do a wrap.
Sure.
Put a little.
I eat the sandwiches plain though. So to me, if you
right.
wanted a sauce, you say, "Hey, can I get a sauce?"
Yeah.
So I guess there's a standard sauce.
There are 10 different sauces.
Well, right, but I guess there's a Chick-fil-A sauce that's a standard sauce.
Correct.
But I feel like I need to know that. That's information I need to know.
I feel like it's almost like a yum yum. type
It is,
sauce.
and it turns out they do ask. They go, "Do you want a Chick-fil-A sauce?" And I was like, "No,"
Because no one told me
I didn't know I
needed
needed a sauce. But now I know. In the future, she'll get a sauce. You go sauce. He's
Yes.
nodding. Both of you go sauce on the plane. The plane's so it doesn't need anything. It's perfect.
What kind of sauce do you get
Chick-fil-A sauce for me.
for both of them?
So that's like I feel like, and that's like it
there's an
canes you with the
underground
cane
movement
sauce. It's
here,
that
I
same
feel.
kind of it's a similar like a mayo-y. So it's not even on my radar.
I was gonna say number one. How far a drive is it back to Chick-fil-A? Because I know you had to go back.
Oh, I did not go back.
Really?
No, it's 2 minutes away. I'm not going. We have time. You know me. Do you think I'm a house without condiments? Like if she wants to put some type of a sauce,
But that's
on
like
this,
a mayo-based sauce.
there's
There's
a
no
ton of
way
them.
that's in the house.
No, you're right. There are no mayo-based
Yeah.
sauce. But there's she was more than fine. But in the future, I will for sure get her. No, she wasn't like you got to go back. No way.
Okay.
This case, sweet, very sweet. Woman.
Correct. But
Very sweet
you know, I mean, it's an emotional time.
It is an emotional time. No, but she was good. Last night, by the way, so my daughter had her boyfriend Easy over, fine young man.
Still together.
Oh yeah, like 2 years. He's great. I mean, I never thought I would
aware.
ever say that. When you tell I thought it would be like Bad Boys. You know, like
That's happened in my house.
yeah, knocked on the door exactly. But it's not. It's great. So she wanted a vodka sauce and chicken cutlets. So I've never made chicken cutlets before. That's not something that's been in my repertoire. Yeah, my repertoire. And she wanted I make a really good vodka sauce that, substitutes low-fat Greek yogurt for the cream, and I don't use all the butter and
It's okay. I mean,
and it's very good. But she's like, Dad, she's like, I want
the real deal.
full throat, 4 tablespoons of butter, 2 a full pint of heavy cream, all of it. It was
Excuse
amazing.
me?
It was amazing. I will say and the cutlets turned out great. Miss K was doing a little cutlet station, the dip in the flour, then the egg, and then the breadcrumbs, the seasoned breadcrumbs, and we had that rolling. It turned out really good. Did over a little gnocchi. It was pretty good. Now I went to look this morning at the sauce after it spent a night in the fridge, and it's like a solid block.
Which means in your stomach currently, it is a solid block.
I said to her, this is for sure, without question, the least healthy meal I've ever cooked myself. Not the least healthy meal I've ever eaten. And I don't count prime rib. People be like, if it's more calories. Yeah, whatever. That's good meat. I'm talking just this is just making a sauce.
Yeah.
But it was good.
Really?
It tasted like legit. Like you'd be like, if this was served to you at an Italian restaurant, you would have been.
Was she
Yeah, so they had.
All right,
and then
Dad.
The secret was at the end after I made the whole sauce, and I had a little crumbled Italian sausage in there. That was my own little addition.
like it?
And then at the end, I got the mozzarella balls that are not the mini, not the pearls, but the next one up from the pearls.
Sure.
So there's 12 of them maybe. So I had it in my big Dutch oven, and I put those around in a little pattern. So they covered the top, and then I sprinkled a bunch of grated parm across the top, and then put it in the oven under the broiler on high, and it bruleed
Yeah.
the cheeses
Little crust.
on top. Oh my god, dude. Ludicrous.
Wow.
For sure, the least healthy thing I've ever made, but it was good.
So is the boyfriend the same age?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So,
both gonna be seniors.
So there's no junior prom or anything
Oh
like
yeah,
that?
they did prom. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
oh, they
Oh,
did?
they did prom. Sure.
What was the after prom?
There's after prom. It's like a school after prom.
Perfect.
Where you
Good.
have to go.
You have to be in the
and
school. You
It's
have to
all
be-
supervised, but I think it runs to
Oh, I
2 or 3.
did that.
Yeah.
I
I'm
did
sure
that.
you were chaperoning.
I did. I
I
ran
bet.
the.
You had to be
I
the best chaperone ever. You ran the hot dog stand?
No, I ran the money grab. We have quite a nice little after prom setup at Olmsted Falls. They start fundraising for after prom when they're in first grade. So they have a bank account. We had $50K to spend on after prom. We had some things.
I bet you did.
We had a money machine. You walked in and it was tens, hundreds, whatever you grabbed.
What do you grab?
You got.
Oh man.
And I was in charge of the money machine.
Did you get to go in? Was that your
No,
payment for
no,
being
I
there?
tried.
For the kids? Yeah.
At the end, I'm I got to take this back. Boy, Could really make a night of it, though.
There was all the money in there still. What happened to the money that was unclaimed?
I think it went toward. They might have raffled it off.
Yeah.
That's whatever.
Cool.
And then I directed traffic the one year, so I had to do it twice.
Great.
Yeah, I had to do it twice.
Keep moving.
Now,
I bet you were like, you know what you would remind me of, I think, as a traffic cop in my mind, how I picture you operating, like the people at the airport who are like super rude on the bottom level.
so funny you say that. This was an airport theme, like flying trip getaway. We were the people, like we had the things that direct the planes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The
I was
orange
like,
things?
you want to
Yeah.
go this way, folks, this way,
Yeah.
this way, this
Oh,
way.
they had a great time.
Yeah, it was great.
Great
It was
time.
good. But like after my youngest prom and the after prom, I had arranged with an establishment in town. It was 3:00 in the morning, and there was about 20 parents, all of us pretty close. And I said, "Hey, you can go home, or we can go have a little happy hour." And they're like, "There's nothing open." And I said, "Well,
Did it rhyme with Yippin' Ghost?
no,
Oh.
no." And I said, "Got a little spot. We just got to park around the back, go in the door, lights are off. Ladies and gentlemen, I give
Here we
you
go.
Saturday night fun." And literally
What a hero.
20 parents walked out at 9 a.m.
Yeah,
and
your
going,
party was, just so
"What
people are
is
listening,
going on?"
your party was for the parents.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
the parents.
Yeah.
The kids went home, did whatever they're going to do. I didn't want to know. That wasn't at my house. That's all I do know. The parents that had worked and busted their you-know-whats for
sure.
36 hours setting up, and because then you got to tear it all down.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's 3:00 in the morning, 3:30. Let's go have a cocktail.
Absolutely. Good
So,
for you.
Yeah.
Good for
So
you.
you're going to have to work after prom. You're going to have to do after prom this year. You're going to have to make some
I'd like
You're
to.
going to have to make some.
I would love to. I would love to get to
Okay.
I think it'd be great fun.
It's a blast.
I would be all about it. By the way, our good friend the Hoff posted a video that a car crashed through their cow fence last night. We got it fixed. We found some evidence about the possible cause. Stay safe out there. O'Doyle rules. I still don't understand what that banana peel has to do with anything. Do you think
It's slipping on the banana peel, like the car slipped on the banana peel. It's like it's the O'Doyle rules.
I want to know what I want to know is who did this. I've been there. I know where that is. I recognize this part of the road.
Someone got a little crazy on the curve.
Yeah, maybe they did. Maybe, yes, indeed.
Got a little too fast.
All right. So earlier today, we got a chance to talk with somebody we'll have an interview for later in the week. But I brought up to him Mind Enterprises. It's Italo disco.
Yeah,
have
I
you
heard
seen
you
these
say
guys?
this. No.
Have you guys seen these guys? What? These guys. First of all, look at these guys, Gibbe. Look at these guys. And then they play disco. They're unbelievable. They might be my new favorite band ever. I've
They
ordered the
play
t-shirts.
in Italy?
Yes.
Why did I not know this when I went there?
I don't know if they play in Italy. I don't know. I don't even know their whole story. But dude, these guys are everywhere. Look at this guy. This guy's panache. I mean, have you ever seen anything like that?
No.
Can we pull up a picture of Mind Enterprises? These two guys for maybe
Send
one of
them
the
the
next
link.
segments.
Or send me the
Just
link.
Google them. They even sometimes they do covers. I mean, they're unbelievable. They do dance lessons. They've got it all for you. Look at these guys. Look at them on the beach, Gibbe. You tell me this guy, you wouldn't love to hang out with this guy on the right? This guy is
There's a lot going on there.
this guy is all time. All time. So I don't know. You know how X works now is like you click on something once and you're into it, and then now it's just that's
Yeah,
all it is.
Once it's there.
They have a
What is
song-
it- What are they called?
Mind Enterprises. They're all on Spotify. I got the whole thing going on my playlist. These guys. Now, Kayla appreciates that I love them, but I don't think she fully gets it yet. Like, look at this guy ripping a heater. Look at this, ripping a heater, doing disco, having some Campari.
40 years old.
Dude, he's unbelievable. They got a song where he just coughs, which is hysterical. They're unbelievable.
The clapping song,
Yes, they're unbelievable.
La Vita di Mare.
Look, they even do dance classes. They teach you how to do like the fist pump. These guys.
Oh, yeah. They're totally. But where do they play and how did I not?
I don't know. They just all of a sudden showed up, and I clicked on one thing and another. Look at this guy's dance moves. Look at this punch. Yes. Look at the. I mean, are you kidding me? The guy on
In
the
a
right
heartbeat.
is
I wanna
right
go
now.
drink
He's
with
moved
him.
into and I've talked to Baby Doll about this. Beatbox. We got everybody. It's gone. He's like easily for someone that I have never met in person. He's like a top 5. He's a top 5 human being in my rankings for somebody that I've never met. Yes.
Is there swearing?
No. They're
Kev?
just.
I checked it.
Attaboy.
This is just music.
Oh, they were in Hamburg. Vilnius, New Year's Eve 24. Oh, they have merch.
Oh, dude.
Did you
Are you
get?
kidding me? It's on its way.
What
It's
did
on
you-
its way
what
here
did you
and in
order?
Chicago for Baby. I got the baby blue T-shirt. Look out!
The item.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna wear it in studio as soon as I get it. It will be worn here. It's gonna be unbelievable. I mean, they're just. I don't. To me, this is the soundtrack of the summer. So, you're welcome. First of all, for those of you listening, you're welcome because now I think I've probably changed your life for the better. So we have that. So that's one of our hot topics for sure. Presented by University Hospitals, the official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. In fact, they're so much more exciting to me than the NBA draft. I couldn't even. It's like, who cares? Cooper Flag's going to Dallas, and then
That's right.
And then is there a lot of who cares after that? There may be like
There's
2 or
a
3
guy,
good players,
there's a guy
right?
from Rutgers. That
There's no Paolo
everybody's high
Banchero
on,
in this draft.
but I guess he's kind of a head case. He didn't work out for teams. He would cancel interviews with teams, and I heard someone on ESPN radio yesterday morning on the morning show there, and I heard them say it was an NBA expert. He was like, if I were a GM, you could draft him, and as long as he doesn't do everything that he's done since the college basketball season ended, you'd be like, okay, good. No matter what else happens or what he does or doesn't do, he's also the guy that will get you fired. That's what he said. I'm
Interesting.
like, why would you take him at number 2 then?
Well, then I don't think I would. It's funny to me, and you posed the question in here, and this is what's funny to me about it, is in reality, because there are only 5 people on the court, and you're on the court for the entirety of the game. You don't play only offense or defense. And obviously, look, a quarterback, I think, obviously can change the fortunes of a franchise in the NFL because it's the most important position. But you're talking about a game with 5 people on the court. Like, you get LeBron, that changes your team. But the draft beyond that, beyond those transformational guys, it doesn't have any buzz. I don't know. There's just no juice to it. The lottery has more juice than the actual draft.
I would agree with that. I think,
Well, especially when there's one of those guys in the draft.
we were talking about it. Like, I think it has a lot to do with there are so many foreign players that you just don't know
You don't
anything
even know
about.
who they are. Yeah. For sure.
I mean, I'm looking at. There's a kid from Baylor going number 3 to Philadelphia.
Okay.
VJ Edgecombe.
Okay.
Sure. And someone's going to be listening to this and go, "This guy doesn't know anything about basketball." Not about this, I don't. Knipple from Duke.
Yep.
Love him. He is not if he's the 4th best player in college basketball, woof. I'm a Dookie.
You are.
And I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't, and all these guys. I mean, you're taking a guy, the Duke big. I mean, he's going 7 to the Pelicans. Like, he is a project.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what? Carter Bryant from Arizona goes to Phoenix. There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
Bear down.
I don't know how you make it. And it used to be one of those, shout out to the great Dave DiNatale. I hope you're well. But we used to make it a big deal. Like NBA draft, like in the 90s, early 2000s, we get together, hit up a little Buffalo Wild Wings, go watch the draft.
The
It was
draft
fun.
used to have a lot more juice to it.
Yeah.
It just did.
Now I'm like, okay. And now it's a 2-night. You're going to put the second round on night 2?
Yep.
The Cavs don't pick till tomorrow. Now the Cavs going to make a trade? Maybe. I don't know. It's just there's not a lot that makes me go, oh yeah, I gotta see this. So I don't.
They used to
We
be, it
ever
was
reached-
fashion. There used to be good fashion at it. They used to wear like
Yes.
crazy suits.
Oh,
You
yeah.
get the hats. You'd have all the logo. That part of it was fun, but that's it. That's it. Yeah, I don't know. They're not there. I don't think there is a ton of juice for
No,
the NBA.
I don't even know
draft.
how you get it to the point where it even competes with the NFL
Yep.
draft. Like the NFL draft night 1 and night 2, probably
Yeah.
bigger than the NBA draft night 1. It just is what it is.
Oh yeah, it's not even close. I would imagine the ratings are not even in the same ballpark whatsoever.
Yeah.
Not at all. In Browns related news,
Oh yeah, what do you got?
it just looks like the dome is everything is looking good. Last night it got the funding it's sent now to the governor for his final approval.
I think everything got approved.
Yeah, everything did. They're gonna
The state house and state senate, did they
That's
approve
right. They
it?
came together. So, yeah, last night they came together and they approved the budget, which is going to use the $1.7 billion of the $4.8 billion in unclaimed funds of the state, and see if it looks like that should go forward. And what's interesting is last night there was also a provision added. So they proposed final budget. It's got the stadium, and there was also something added about the Modell law to change it so that it does not apply to teams staying in the same county. So that is obvious. These are just signs that this is all
happening.
This is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is happening.
It should.
As well it should happen. And yeah, so that's where everything stands on that, which I think is a pretty exciting thing if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, or really just if you're a resident of this region, because you're going to have an opportunity. There's going to be an influx of jobs and money to this region and an investment of over $2 billion in private investment, over $2 billion from the Haslams. $2 billion. That is not insignificant at all. So an exciting time and good news. And I'm pretty sure DeWine.
He has till like Monday. Monday's the 30th.
Till
So
Monday.
yeah,
Yep.
it's got to be done and ratified and good to go by
Good to go.
midnight on July 1st.
Yep, and then that's where that will be. All right, coming up on today's show, we are going to go into the cornerback room. We got a little more of a guessing game for me as well.
I got lots of things for you.
You
to
got
guess
what?
on.
Good. Listen.
We like little games.
Put me to
so
work,
We did
dude.
a little game day today.
Put me to work. Let's go. So that is where we are going to be next. We're going to take a look at the Browns cornerback room, which I think is one of the better rooms on this team and certainly on the Cleveland Browns defense. So we're going to take a look at that. We're going to hear from cornerback coach Brandon Lynch as well. That's all when we come back here on Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Bally Bet, an official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. More fun to your fandom with the Bally Bet Sportsbook app. Download today and get $50 in bonus bets when you place your first wager of $10 or more. Bally Bet, an official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Browns. We're going to go look at this cornerback room. We're going to also take some guesses on what Pro Football Focus thought about it, and I think hopefully they can rank cornerbacks better than Pete Prisco can. But right now we're going to hear from the podium presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day. We're going to hear from great friend of the show, Browns cornerback coach Brandon Lynch.
Zinzel said
You're done.
last year was his best year. Would you agree with that, that assessment of where he was a year ago?
Absolutely. You know, and we talk about good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is your better and your better is your best. And that's something that it was a good year, but it wasn't our best year. You know, and he's been working like really, really hard, especially with the new practice, like how we're going out, we're competing, like he's displaying toughness. He's a young guy that really stood like the whole time that we've been in camp, and you're seeing his impression on the team. You know.
Brandon, last year, 4 total interceptions on the team. And Schwartz talked about we got to turn those CBUs into INTs.
Yes, sir.
How do you do that on the practice field?
Yeah, you know what? Like, keep embodying our defensive mindset. Like, we want to attack first, right? Like, we're the tip of the spear. We want to make sure that we're forcing errors, but we're forcing errors because we're communicating and we're executing. And then when we talk about, like, the heart and toughness, like, with us fighting through friction, like, just displaying that toughness through, and then finishing for the team, right? Like, everything that we do is for the team. And those guys really work to serve. And when they're keeping the focus on that, it's going to produce.
So does doing the jugs gun do any help at all?
Oh, absolutely. And these guys, like, since they've been in, you know, those guys, they hold each other accountable to it. You know, they have a routine where they catch about 50 a day as a segment. So with, you know, on average, 8 to 10 guys being here the whole time, like throughout the day, they're catching 50 a day.
Is that different? I'm sorry. Is that different from previous years with you?
You know what? More consistency. More consistency with standard. You know, those guys have really bought into holding each other accountable.
Schwartz also talked about like improving third down percentage,
Yes, ma'am.
And as a defense. But for your unit specifically, like, what's your better role in that way, and how can you guys like work on that? I guess.
Yeah, you know, the first thing is to leverage our engine, right? Like, we want to make sure we always talk about rush and coverage working together. So us staying tight, getting tight, staying tight, and then like being the tip of the spear for our nerve center. So being somebody that our linebackers, our safeties, they can really rely on when we communicate.
You mentioned a lot about looking for toughness. What are you specifically looking for, like out on the field, or is it something in the building to where you're like, this guy has it?
Oh, excellent. It starts with toughness. Like, period. It starts with toughness. You know, we want tough, competitive guys that really, like, know how to play smart. You know, we talk about, like, a lot of heart and toughness within our group, so it has to start there.
But to you, like, what is toughness? Is there something in particular you see out on the field and you're like, this guy's tough?
Yes, ma'am. Like, hungry dogs run faster. You know, so when you talk about, like, championship effort, and when we talk about toughness, like, 3 things that we really want to be known for: physical violence, great effort, and swag and passion. So when we're seeing guys display that, that's it.
I know MJ probably didn't have the most production that he wanted last year, so how have you seen his mindset maybe shift as he enters this offseason program, looking ahead to a stronger 2025?
Yeah, consistency. You know, that's a very resilient player. He's a very resilient player that he holds himself accountable and his teammates hold him accountable. So for him to be here every single day, you know, leveraging, you know, Larry in the weight room, our nutrition department, you know, he's a come early, stay late guy, you know, so the little bit of details that we talk about, like, he's really embodied them. And he's another player. When we say good, better, best, right? Like, yeah, he was good. He's getting better. Now he's en route to putting his best stuff on tape.
What about with Greg as well? Like, just kind of this coming year, what are your expectations for him? Just kind of the way that he's maybe stepping even more so into the leadership.
Yes, continue to lead. You know, continue to lead by example specifically. You know, he's a young guy that he puts it on tape. He always brings swag and passion, right? And then, like, he's a guy that the younger guys and older guys, his peers, they look up to him for leadership. So making sure that he continues in that lane to be consistent.
Gibby, I think you bring swag and passion.
Try to. I have a meeting on Friday about this.
About what? The
new studio.
Man.
I know. I don't know. I'm a little concerned because no one has given me any heads up I don't know what I'm supposed to prepare. I'm like, look, I need the on-off buttons, and we've got to figure out how to do video, like have Joe Thomas on the screen talking to us live. Like, I need that.
Yeah.
Like, we need to get it's
2025.
Can we please
Let's go. Can we please do it?
stop with this Mickey Mouse stuff?
Yeah, here we go. We're going to get it going. All right, taking a look at the Browns cornerback room. You know how it is, right? We got our top three: Denzel Ward, MJ Emerson, Denzel Ward, the Pro Bowler, MJ now wearing number 1, looking for a big bounce back year here. Greg Newsome, the former first rounder, in his 5th season with the Browns. Then you've got Cam Mitchell, and then you've got a lot of options behind that. They drafted Miles Harden, who they like a lot. Chigozie Anuzium, they brought onto the roster last year. He was on the 53. They signed him off of, I want to say, Washington's practice squad. They like him a lot. Tony Brown is the best special teams player in the group, so you feel good about that. And he's just a tremendous guy.
Yes.
Elite hair right now. And then Nick Needham, we'll take him out of. He's more working with Coach Banda right now in the safety room. And he's a veteran who's been around the league and knows how to play the game. So I think you've got, 4 locks are Ward, Emerson, Newsome, and Cam Mitchell. And then I think you've got Tony Brown, Miles Harden, Anuzium. And then if somebody were to surprise you, Dom Jones, Anthony Kendall, Lamarian James. But I think you have those 3 guys going for probably 2 spots would be my guess.
I feel like you have to have at least 6 corners.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's a long season.
Yeah.
And then those guys also have to play a role on special teams.
Now, you could get away with 5 corners and 5 safeties. You could, if you're looking at if let's say Needham is like your 5th and he can play corner as well, so he's kind of counts as like both sides of it.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. But I think, that's kind of the battle as I see it is, Brown, who's the best special teams guy, and then the young guy is Anuzium. Then you drafted Harden a year ago, who looked very good before he got injured kind of at the end of the preseason. Yeah, I think you're looking at for sure 5, maybe 6 in that room. All right, I know you got some questions
I
for
do.
me, Gibby? All right.
Stock up, step up.
Love it.
Whose stock is up? Who needs to step up in this room?
The stock up, I'd say, is got to be Denzel Ward, who played a fantastic season last year. He said it was his best season. He's been to the Pro Bowl, led the league in passes defensed. And I think the thing that really jumps out that he played 16 games last year. That's the most he's played in a season in his NFL career. You love. So I think Denzel's stock is up as an elite corner. Step up is MJ and Greg. These are 2 guys who were MJ Emerson 2 years ago was, you thought, on the verge of stardom and being a perennial Pro Bowler. Now he's entering his 4th season. He's playing for a new contract.
They both are.
I know the Browns certainly would like to see that. 2 years ago he had 14 passes defensed and 4 picks. His rookie year he had 15 passes defensed. Last year, just kind of a little bit of a down year. 5 passes defense, no picks. Still played his butt off, tackled, was involved, all of that. But you want to see him recapture, what he had. And then for Greg, playing for a contract and a guy that's been, I think pretty consistent. But, go back to 2023. In that year, 2 picks, career high, 14 passes defense to career high. And then last year, those numbers fell 1 pick and just 5 passes defense. So we need ball skills. We need playmaking. We need turnovers from this cornerback room. And so to me, it's those 2 guys that we want to see kind of capture their best form. And if they do, we should be very difficult to throw on if you get the time to throw.
So my next question, you just answered. MJ, Newsome, is this season more important for either? It's important for both.
It's super important for both.
Yeah.
Super important for both, for their ability to make the kind of money that they want. I think, Greg's inside, outside versatility, MJ's an outside guy. I just thought MJ was on, and I love him. I love both those guys. Both those guys have been great whenever we've talked with them and just getting to know them and watch them kind of grow up. But MJ Emerson, I thought, was on the cusp of being a special player. He was great in that in the joint practices against Justin Jefferson, and you're like, okay, Justin Jefferson even said MJ Emerson's going to be, one of the top corners in the league, and then it just didn't happen. And he, as the season went on, lost his confidence a little bit, got it back at the end of the year, but we're hoping that, he can build on that, because if he can, I think he's a stud. I think he's a superstar. So certainly would like to see that.
X factor in this room.
I think it's going to be Tony Brown, just because I love that guy, and I think he's going to be, such a special teams player. And I also think he's a guy that, if you needed him to play some corner, he could. But I think just more from a special teams aspect, that's what makes him an X factor to me.
I think the X factor, you've got to see something from either Cam Mitchell or Miles Harden.
Yeah,
you really have. I mean,
but hopefully you won't see him.
Denzel.
Hopefully you won't see him.
It, Denzel gets hurt once a year.
Yeah, hopefully you
and
won't
misses a couple games.
Only one last year. That's what we're looking for.
But that's
you're gonna play. You're gonna see somebody.
Everybody's gonna get dinged up. It's an 18-week season.
Yeah.
So you've got to have guys behind them.
Yeah.
So who are those guys going to be? That's the big question.
Yes.
The player we aren't talking about now, but we'll be talking about at the end of the season in this room is blank.
So I think it's going to have to be one of these three, which is Cam Mitchell, Anuzium, or Miles Harden. I don't know which one it will be yet, but I think it's got to be one of those three, because if MJ and Greg play the way that, they certainly are capable of playing and we hope they play, they both can't be back.
True.
We just won't be able to afford both of
Correct.
them and Denzel. You can't be paying three, premium cornerback salaries. So, the succession planning has to come from Mitchell, Anuzium, or Harden, especially if it's Greg, Cam on the inside, Miles on the inside as well, and then you got Anuzium on the outside. That's really where it's got to come from one of those guys. The one of those guys gets an opportunity this year and they seize it, and you say, you know what, we can go into next season with one of these guys starting. That's what you need.
All right, time for a little fun with Pro Football Focus. Highlighting the best at every position heading into the 2025 season. The top 32 corners. These cornerback rankings primarily influenced by PFF Advanced Coverage Grade, which takes into account a player's standard PFF coverage grade, primarily influenced by plays where the defender was targeted, ability to prevent separation, difficulty of assignment, and PFF grade on plays when not targeted. That's a lot. Adjustments were made for some players based on their health and snap counts across multiple years. Can you give me the top 10 in no particular order? Can you guess the 10?
All right. PS2.
Number 2.
Sauce Gardner.
Number 1 on the PFF list.
Okay. Denzel Ward.
By the way, Sauce Gardner with not a contract extension yet either.
How many years has he been playing? Just 3, right? Or 2?
I think it's 3. I think it's time for an extension.
He could be. He's a
you can make that
first
argument.
rounder. Let's see.
Bo and I were talking about this. It's no longer a 5-year deal. First round picks, if you're highly successful, you want to be paid after year 3.
Yeah, so that's coming up for him. Yeah.
So
interesting. He was a first team All-Pro his first 2 years. He was not last year. Only 3 career interceptions. I wouldn't have had that.
Me neither.
Certainly number 1. Okay, I'd said Denzel Ward.
Denzel Ward is number 10. So a little bit better than Pete Prisco.
Should be better than that.
Yeah, I think you will find that to be
the kid from Kansas City, McDuffie.
He is number 3.
Okay.
Maybe a little high on that one.
Jalen Ramsey, just because he always stays in these things. He might not be out because it's PFF's rankings.
Yeah, he's not in the top 10.
All right. Stingley in Houston.
Stingley is number 5.
Okay.
Did you say Ramsey? Ramsey is 14.
14, okay. Cooper DeJean.
Not in the top 10. Number 11. First miss.
Okay. Well, Ramsey second.
Okay.
Christian Gonzalez from New England.
No. He's number 13.
All right, so at least my misses aren't like terrible.
Yeah, no.
misses.
You're in the top 15.
Marlon Humphrey.
There you go. Number 7 for the Ratbirds.
Jair Alexander.
Number 9. the newest member of the Baltimore
yeah.
Ravens. That happened while you were gone.
I know. He hasn't played a lot of games, but if he does, he's pretty good. I'm going to say I love the dude from Chicago, Jalen Johnson.
He is on there. He is number 4.
Okay, number 4. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing 6 and 8.
Yes. You have one from an AFC team, one from an NFC team, one from the NFC North, one from the AFC East.
The NFC North, AFC East. AFC East.
This is the one you'll have a beef with.
That Benford kid?
Yep.
So maybe he is that. Maybe he is.
He's number 8.
Benford, and then you said NFC North.
NFC North. For the defending NFC North champion Lions.
It's either that guy that they can see, who I think is a safety, though. Their corners are what? Carlton Davis, the former Buck, and then Brian. Something with a B. Does the last name have a B?
No, it's DJ Reed from Detroit.
Oh, he was a Jet. He's a free agent signing. So he has
not played for the Lions.
He hasn't played for the Lions.
Well, that's why.
Yeah. Okay. I would not have gotten DJ Reed.
Only the Browns would
What
only
about Brian
one player.
Branch? Branch? Who's the kid that's in Detroit that's like really good? He might be a safety, but he plays in the slot. Branch? Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah, he's not on this.
Okay. What Browns made the top 32? I'm guessing by the way the question was asked that it's more than Denzel Ward.
It's just Denzel.
Okay.
Let me stop you there.
Now 2 years ago, after MJ's rookie season, or maybe after last year, all 3 of them were top 32.
Yeah, even Newsom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Newsom might have been ahead of MJ.
MJ 1 year was at the top of the top. 2 years ago was MJ was like elite. He'll get back there.
He will.
He'll get back there.
100%.
Yeah, I have no doubt in my mind. All right, that's a look at the cornerback room for the Browns again. One of the stronger rooms, certainly from the starting standpoint and what you get there. And then we're going to need one of those guys behind to step up, to be ready to go. All right, when we come back, we're going to go around the sports world. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet, an official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Attention Browns fans, Barking Backers, the official dog fan club of the Cleveland Browns, is back for the 2025 season. Get your pup in on the action with exclusive gear, events, and more. Memberships are available now. Fetch yours today or gift a membership to a furry friend at barkingbackers.com. Barking Backers is presented by Milkbone and in association with Embrace Pet Insurance and Pet Supplies Plus. Asa Woody's a Barking Backer. She's dialed.
Did she go to the event this past weekend?
No, she's not a social dog.
Gotcha. I believe I know this already.
She thinks that she's 10 feet tall and bulletproof.
Yeah.
And acts like she is the baddest dog in the neighborhood. And
Not
she
so
gets actually
impressed.
gets a little bit of respect in that regard. But it's wild to watch her. Yeah, she's not a social dog. She wouldn't have to do well at an event like that unless you want her to just like bark at everybody. She's been a little weird with Luca.
How really?
So then my mom's, this sweet Nana, we talked about how she did the night nurse the 2 nights ago, which was amazing. Love it. I think Asa thought, like, finally we got rid of this guy. And then she seemed pretty bummed out when he was back the next day. Like, I think she loves him and wants to protect him, but I also think she's like, wait a second, I was the
real deal
baby.
Holyfield.
Yeah,
and now I'm not.
Yeah, I was kind of the main event. Yeah, baby in the house, and not anymore.
Not so much, baby.
So yesterday, I will say Luca has got and I'm not there for much at this time, especially now, because it happened yesterday, and now I'm here again. But Kayla sat down for lunch, and whenever she sits down for lunch, basically he like loses his mind. It's like he can sense that she's about to like
relax and have a
and
moment.
he's just like, no, I'm waking up and I'm crying. So she's like, gets him, has to change his diaper, and gets a bottle ready or whatever. She'd just gotten Chipotle, which was on a table, and Asa Woody jumped on the table and ate her whole Chipotle bowl, leaving a few pieces of lettuce and corn.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
that's not great. Has she ever done that before?
She makes moves. Sometimes we'll come back in and like if there's a plate there, she's like up on our we have in the living room we have our couches like a sectional like in a an L, and then in the middle of it is this really cool glass table that was actually in my parents' house when I was growing up. That the wood beneath it is actually an old grapevine, and then it's like a glass top to it. So it's only like we can sit on the floor and eat at it.
Got it.
So it's like a coffee table height.
Sure.
Oh, and she'll hop up there. That's where she hopped up and got that. The other day, we were literally burping
Be the end
Luca,
of my dog if they did that.
burping Luca, and I look over, and she had hopped onto the couch and was trying to eat an egg bite off of Kayla's plate. And I was like, Asa.
I have no tolerance for that. My wife has less tolerance for that.
No, I just don't know. So we were reading. We've done like a bunch of reading. And like, I guess you're not supposed to like, if you yell at them when like around a baby or whatever, they're like survival instincts kick in and it actually makes the behavior worse than if not. If you're
Okay, but
you can't do it. No, she got thrown in the cage, and for her, that's like
that's your
she
timeout.
knows. Yeah, she was on timeout. She knows.
Yeah,
But
my sister has a dog like that. This dog, and it's not a small dog. Like Asa is nothing compared to the big one, Bandito.
Yeah.
And this thing will just take your plate right off of the table. Food everywhere.
You
okay,
can't do
great.
that.
Well, it's on the floor. I can eat it now.
Yeah, can't do that. Can't do that. I do think that there are some. I give her a little bit more grace, and I give her a lot of food. Like, I feel like if you were here today, Gibbe, with me, and we're having a great time, and let's even say we were, like, truly brothers. And then all of a sudden, this, like, I don't know, 40-foot giant of another species came in and just, like, grabbed you and was like, you're living with me now. I mean, we never got to see each other again. And they knew you loved beer. So, like, they'd give you some beer, keep you happy, right? Like, all Asa likes is she loves us and she loves food. Her life is built around when she gets to have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and second dinner. It's all she wants. Is
There's
food.
a second dinner?
Yeah, we had to trick her with second dinner.
Why?
But it feels like she's tricked us.
Yeah, I'm
So
going to go
we give
ahead.
her, she gets like, okay, first of all, you're going to laugh. So she gets a third of a cup
Oh.
for breakfast. Now, that doesn't make the whole pitch. So
She's
breakfast,
a tiny
she gets
little thing.
she's like 12 pounds.
Yeah.
She gets a third of a cup. For breakfast, she gets a third of a cup. She gets a milk bone, like a gravy bone, which she loves. And then I found her these like hemp infused, like they're good for her joints and stuff. And it actually really helped her when she like she definitely tore her ACL, but she's like healed herself. And the doctor's like, just see if she can heal herself because otherwise you're gonna need the surgery. But
I
dogs,
have a whole wing at the West Park Animal Hospital.
oh man, Lumps
2
tore-
ACLs.
Lumps did 3. She did
Right.
one of them twice. Come on, Lumps.
Yeah.
So anyway, she's had those issues, so she loves that. So she like, and she eats like hungry hippo. Like you put that kibble down, dude, it's gone in 1 second.
That's Oliver.
It doesn't even make sense how fast she can eat. Whereas my older Callie, my first dog in Cleveland, wouldn't even eat kibble. She's like, no, you need to make me like. And then after a while, she's like, ground beef doesn't even excite me. Whereas Ace is a dog. She's like, put food in front of me, I'm gonna eat it.
So this is what's happened in my world. I have 2 dogs.
Yeah.
Oliver's 13.
'Kay.
He's gonna be 13. He does not look 13.
Yeah.
He is spry. He almost ran down a rabbit the other day. And Roxy is she's 6, and I think she's on steroids from the moment she wakes up till she just passes out. Like, that's it. It's nonstop. She's the picky one. He grazes and eats everything. This is what happens when I go on the road in football season. My wife determines that the food we've been feeding the dogs is not healthy. We need to make our own dog food. What I do last night, made dog food.
Oh man, wow.
This is my life. I have to make rice like 2 or 3 days a week.
Oh my God.
We have potatoes that go
Just
in
get
it.
that.
We have,
What about
I'm like,
that?
what are we? I'm like, what is the cost of the regular dog food that we were buying? Which is not. It was like sensitive skin and stomach, by the way, because Oliver
Dude.
breaks out.
We had like some Rachel
Nonstop.
Ray Nutrish stuff.
Exactly.
Dude, that bag lasts for like 6 months.
Yeah, see, we probably have to buy one a month because they get a bowl in the morning and they
So
get a
that's
bowl at night.
$1 a day.
Yeah. I'm like, what is what I'm currently doing? Like, we have to go to a butcher to get this special, like, dog. I'm telling you, it is.
So
my summer.
I get it. Listen,
I'm
you're
like, you
very
cannot
nice.
do this stuff when I go on the road.
You're very nice.
I'm not around.
So so you do that. My buddy, the cook, like drives his dog to like play dates at this place like 3 times a week. Groom her once a week. I'm like, what?
Nope.
I was like, my dog, Ace Woody, gets to go to the potty every now and then, which is the party. That's how we say it to her. When like we have a family, like you want to go to the potty, and then she hops in the car and she just sits in the front seat for like until we leave. Like she's like, go to the party. Like I'm in. Boom. But that's it. She's not getting driven around to like go to doggy amusement parks and whatnot. But she does get food, and she gets prime rib. She gets all the good stuff. But she lives for food. So I just think like they're taken from their species, like they're living with us. If they like food, we give them food.
Your dog leads a very good life.
Great
so
life.
do my dogs. My dogs have an unbelievably good life.
Oh my God! Now the funny thing is, now she's small, so she can sleep in the bed. She sleeps like at the foot of the bed now. We have this blanket it's actually, I think it's like an UGG blanket, believe it or not. Like, I don't know if they make blankets. It's very cozy. And now she kind of like swaddles herself like the baby in the blanket and sleeps in there.
Roxy has to be covered up every night. I wake up in the middle of the night, I got to recover her. Or she attempts to get into bed with us. Now, she's 60 pounds. There ain't no room for that.
No. This is...
Oliver's a solid 80. He's a beefy.
Jeez Louise. Those are big dogs.
They are big dogs.
Those are big dogs. Yes. Well, I guess we'll go around the sports world when we come back. That was around the canine world.
This is what we do. Welcome to the offseason. For those of you tweeting going, where's the Browns talk?
What do you mean? Got cornerback room breakdown.
Just saying. And we got safeties
beak
coming
on
up in
that?
hour 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be back.
You guys know.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Bally Bet. And now we are going to go around the sports world. Go.
Did you see that Oklahoma City's championship parade?
Was there really nobody there?
I don't know. Trotter, if you're listening and can dispute this, they said there were like 10,000 people.
It looked like there was nobody there.
Yeah. Trotter, you won a championship. Get the family on the plane and go to Oklahoma City.
Go see a parade.
If I may, Trotter has told some of the guys here that some of the camera angles were not right, and I have seen some video where it looked packed. It was just well organized with barricades and stuff like that.
Okay.
I mean, we were well organized. Nothing happened. We had 1 million. 1.3 to be exact.
Yeah. People say that there weren't. Yeah, it does not appear to be super packed, but according to the mayor, hundreds of thousands descended on downtown. How many do you say there were 1 million? There was over 1 million for the Cavs.
1.3 to be exact per sources.
So
I don't know. I don't know how many people live in that area, so I wouldn't. You know, they can tell me.
There's 712,000 people who live in Oklahoma City. May have been more people than that today on the streets of downtown. For 2 uninterrupted mild, Thunder fans were stacked deep on both sides. This is from the mayor. Other people say not the case at all, and have pictures where there was literally no crowd at all. Closest comparison they think for the OKC parade is the 2021 parade for the Bucks that attracted around 500,000.
That's coming out of COVID too, isn't it?
But Milwaukee has about 150,000 fewer people than Oklahoma City.
I mean,
listen. It wasn't our parade.
They won the championship.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know why anybody else would have been working that day.
Same.
To the parade.
Go to the parade.
Everybody in this town did.
Yeah.
Everybody in this town partied for 4 straight days. I was fairly confident.
It was a good time.
It was. What else you got today?
5-time Pro Bowler C.J. Mosley announced his retirement from the NFL. He was out of Alabama, played for both the Ravens and the Jets.
Was never the same after he left Baltimore.
I don't know about that, Gibby.
Yeah?
Hold on. Let's go to the
Wouldn't be
numbers.
The first time I was wrong.
5-time Pro Bowler. To be fair, only 1 Pro Bowl after Baltimore, but 21, 22, 23, he got hurt last year, but his last 3 full seasons, he was a Pro Bowler in 22, second-team All-Pro. In 21, he had a career-high 168 tackles.
Who was that for?
Jets. Then in 22, he had 158 tackles, which was second most of his career as a Pro Bowler. And the year after that, he had 152 tackles. His best year, he was more around the line of scrimmage, I think, in Baltimore. He was a Pro Bowler in 14, second in the Defensive Rookie of the Year voting, Pro Bowler in 16, 17, and 18. Went to the Jets, didn't play during COVID, opted out, got hurt in 19, and then came back and had a really good 3-year run there. 5-time Pro Bowler. He was a former first-round pick of the Ravens, 17th overall in 2014. Same draft as Joel Bitonio.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So maybe a little better with the Jets than I remember.
Yeah.
The Ravens, he was a thorn in our side.
Yeah, I remember in 2018, which would have been his last game as a Raven, he picked off Baker when we were trying to drive down the field, and I think we could have knocked them out of the playoffs if we won that game. And he got that interception. He got that interception late. The Jags, first-round draft pick, number 2 overall, Travis Hunter, signed his rookie deal worth $46.65 million, fully guaranteed. His $30.57 million signing bonus paid entirely up front makes him the first non-quarterback not drafted first overall to receive his entire bonus up front. It's also because the Jags and Shad Connor are incredibly liquid that they can do that. And that's the beef with what's going on with the kid down in Cincinnati, something about how his bonus is going to be paid out. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers announced they'll wear their creamsicle uniforms on Thursday Night Football, Week 15, against the Falcons. I love those uniforms.
Now, what do the Falcons wear to combat that?
They should wear the Jeff Georges. Those are beautiful.
Bringing people together.
Beautiful.
The Jeff Georges.
Top 5 like individual uniforms off the top of my head would be, no particular order, the creamsicles, the powder blue Chargers.
Yep.
I mean, I think the powder blue Oilers are phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then I like straight up just the silver and black Raiders.
About the old school Dolphins ones.
I like the red and gold Niners. Old school Dolphins I like. From an old school one, I like the old school Dolphins. I love the old school Broncos. Love. The whites.
I don't want to love it.
I know, but the whites with the blue helmet and the white with the letter shadow box on the numbers. Obviously, I love ours. We're very classic, traditional. I do like our white on the shadow box, white on white with the white helmet. I like that look. And then, the Jeff Georges are unbelievable for the Falcons.
I'm trying to think what else.
I love the old Vikings where it was like that deep purple helmet, like the deep purple.
The old school Eagles.
Eagles are great. The Kelly Green Eagles.
Yep.
The Seahawks. I do the Seahawks throwbacks.
There's
would
a
have to
lot
get in
of
there.
Seahawks stuff.
Just I like the ones that they wore when we played there.
Yeah, your old school 49ers stuff.
All the Niners. I think there's just the classic Niners, just the classic red over gold with the helmet, and I think the classic Raiders is hard to beat as well. I do love for a one-off though. I think the creamsicle might be the best one-off. Oh, I also like the old what's his name, Pat the Patriot.
Yeah,
like the red uni with the white helmet. Yeah,
that's pretty great.
Those are pretty good ones as well. Season 2 of Quarterback debuts July 8th on Netflix. Kirk Cousins, Joe Burrow, and Jared Goff. I can't wait for that. I love Jared Goff. I think it'll be fascinating to watch Burrow as a stud. And then Kirk Cousins go through, I think, a pretty tough – it'll be interesting to see how he handled that.
Yeah, what the season. Access ended up really being.
Yeah. And where,
does it open the door with the glimpses to what the future holds?
I was going to say, right. Where's he – again, I don't think – clearly he's still there. They're paying him one way or the other. They may as well make sure that he's the great insurance policy. That's what I think. So we'll see. I can't wait for that, though. I think Goff will be fascinating. He's such a good dude. Burrow's such a stud. Although he's not a great thrower of a baseball. He struggled a little bit at Fanatics Fest.
Happens.
It does happen.
Fanatics Fest. That event in 2 years. Wasn't that the one with Chris Rose? Didn't they bring back the best damn sports show? Wasn't that the reunion last year for him?
Yeah.
It was he did a preseason game with us because it was in August.
Yeah.
And he came in that morning, I believe.
He did.
He had been at Fanatics Fest the night before.
Yeah, that's where they did the best damn reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of quarterbacks, might as well do this because we were going to do it this segment anyways. Our good friend Nick Shook ranking each division by quarterback heading into the 2025 season.
Okay.
Quarterback, the most high-profile position in sports. So, in a world in which we lean on rankings to make sense of things, few positions attract more debate than this. Those seeking clarity on the matter are in luck. With each week of the NFL season, it is my job to analyze every snap of every game with a focus on the signal callers. After each week's games are complete, I rank every quarterback. What if we were to group them by division in an effort to determine which four-team collective packs the greatest passing punch?
So that's what it is?
What he's done.
So
yes.
Has he ranked them in each division too?
I've added a fun wrinkle that taps into the final QB index from the 2024 season, in which I ranked every QB to start a game last year, to add a bit more order to a process that might otherwise be repetition dependent. The divisions are listed below according to how each team's expected starting quarterback ranked as of the end of the 2024 playoffs, presented in countdown fashion.
All right, so what are you asking me to do? Rank within each division?
I think it's the divisions.
The division in total?
Yes. In cases where there are two QBs who seem equally likely to start for one team, I calculated their average ranking to create one score.
All right, let's go by division. Does he also rank them in each division? No? It's just by the division's total.
So his rankings are from last year, at the end of when the season ended.
Okay.
So when 24-25 ended, he had his final rankings.
All right, so the AFC West is going to have Mahomes, Herbert, Nix, and Geno. The AFC North is going to have Lamar, Burrow, Rodgers.
And then he took the average of Pickett and Flacco.
And we'll say Pickett. Okay. Pickett, Flacco.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The AFC South is going to have Stroud.
Yep.
Lawrence.
Yep. He put Cam Ward.
Yep.
And then he comboed Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones.
We'll call it Daniel Jones. Okay.
Richardson says he's going to be fine, by the way.
West, North, South, and then the AFC East is going to be Josh Allen. It's going to be Justin Fields. It's going to be Tua, and it's going to be May.
You got it.
All right. NFC West is Purdy, Stafford, Darnold, and Kyler.
There you go.
The North is going to be Love, Goff, McCarthy. Oh, that makes that one interesting. And then Caleb Williams.
There you go.
The South's got Baker. It's got Bryce Young. It's got Penix. And then for New Orleans,
Tyler Shuck.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then the NFC East is going to have Dak, Hurts, Daniels. And then who did he go with for the Giants? Russ?
He did
Dart.
go Russ.
He went Russ, straight Russ. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Number 8.
Kev? You can give me a little music, Kev, if you want. We'll do music under most of this hour.
Okay. Number 8 is going to be the NFC South.
So this is the average QBI ranking. At number 8, he has...
Don't tell me. So is that wrong?
What did you guess?
NFC South.
You're incorrect.
Okay. AFC South.
There you go.
Okay.
AFC South is number 8.
Number 7.
He ranked Stroud 15,
Okay.
Richardson 35, Daniel Jones 37, Trevor Lawrence 26, Cam Ward 29.
Lawrence is better than that. Okay.
Yes.
Then I say NFC South.
You are correct. Michael Penix Jr., number 30. Bryce Young, 16.
16.
Tyler Shuck, 29. Baker Mayfield, 6.
He has. Wait a second.
I don't know what they...
Shuck is ahead of Penix?
He's got Cam Ward. Yeah. Yeah, he has Penix 30.
They must.
It must be an average number.
Just the rookies just must be 29 or something?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He had Baker 6, by the way.
Now it gets tough. All right. How about this? I'm gonna jump around and
Sure.
then see if I can nail it in that way.
All right.
I think number 1 is the AFC West.
Am I supposed to respond or no?
Yeah.
You're correct.
Okay. So that's number 1.
Yeah, he has his QB numbers. Bo Nix 20, Mahomes 7, Geno 12, Herbert 11.
All right. Number 2, I think, is the NFC East.
Incorrect.
Number 2, the AFC North?
No.
No. All right, so now I'm confused. How's it not the NFC East? That doesn't make any sense to me. Is that third?
Yes, the NFC East is number 3.
Because of Russ. But I mean,
Prescott 19, Russ 23, Hurts 9, Jane Daniels 5.
9, 5, 19, and 23, and there's going to be a better one than that doesn't have Lamar
Average
and Burrow.
QBI ranking is 14 between those 4.
I mean, he can't do it. He cannot. NFC West? Second? No.
NFC
that's
West
wrong.
average QB ranking
That's
is
wrong.
13.
That's wrong.
Kyler 17, Stafford 8, Purdy 14, Darnold 13. He's got Darnold ahead.
Darnold had a great year last year because it's based on last year. But this,
He says this division carries the most potential for volatility entering 2025.
All right, so that's 2. That's 3. Now I'm going to say the AFC North is 4.
Wrong.
NFC North is 4?
No.
The NFC East is 4?
No.
Who am I missing?
No.
NFC North?
You did 1 was the AFC West.
Yep.
2 was the NFC West.
Yep. 3 is the NFC East.
Yes.
And 4 is not the AFC North?
No.
NFC North?
No.
So then it has to be the AFC East. You said no to that.
No, you didn't say AFC.
How is that possible? On the strength of Josh Allen? How could
You didn't say that.
Yes, I did.
All right.
Yes,
thank
I did.
You did
Play
not
the
say
tape.
it. You
Play
did
the tape.
not say AFC East.
Play the tape.
You did not say
Jordan.
AFC East. I would have told you if you did.
No, I did because it was the only ones that were left. It was only 3. I said then it has to be the AFC East, and you're like, no.
No, you said AFC North.
We'll play the tape. It's fine.
Great. AFC East is number 4.
That's insane.
Josh Allen 2,
'Kay.
Tua 18, Fields 27, Drake May 21.
How is that better than the NFC North? Lamar and Burrow both have to be top 5.
It's a question for Shook. I'm just the messenger.
Okay, what is Lamar?
Where's the AFC North?
Yeah.
Number 5. Lamar is number 1.
Okay, 1.
Burrow is number 3.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers is number 22.
Okay.
Our guys picking a Rodgers are 47 and 40. That throws the number off.
That's okay. All right. So then you have the NFC North is 6 because of McCarthy's probably dragging it down.
Yeah, McCarthy's 29. He's considered a rookie. Caleb Williams, by the way, is 28 in his ranking. Goff 4, Jordan Love 10.
Give me the AFC East again. Allen's 2.
Yep. Allen is 2. Tua is 18. Fields is 27. And Drake May is 21. It's an average of 17. The AFC North average ranking is 17.38.
That's just silliness. Because it's because of Flacco and Pickett. I mean, your top 3 people in the AFC North, it's total 25. Your top 3. Your top 3 people in the East, total 41. Like, come on.
Kev, do you have the tape?
I sure do. Here is.
Did I say it or
the
did I not?
initial, You did. You did not say AFC East in your initial thing. Here it is.
Hold on. Let's play the AFC North is 4.
Wrong.
NFC North is 4?
No.
The NFC East is 4?
She said
I
NFC,
said
I think
NFC
you're
East.
meaning
I meant
AFC.
AFC East. Yep.
Yeah.
Correct. You're correct. So I knew I made some comment. You're correct, Gibby. My bad.
Once in
My
a while.
bust.
Once in a while.
So I said NFC East at a shock, which you knew was 3. That's why you said the NFC East. That's 3. I got it. Makes sense now. No, I was saying AFC East because it's just Josh Allen. I mean,
Yeah.
Tua's not even in the top half based on these numbers. I think that's wild. I think that our division, Rodgers is also, I mean, I guess it's appropriate. The interesting, 1 is clearly 1. I think 1 is clearly 1. I think the NFC East, and I mean it this time, should be 2nd. I would rank it AFC West, NFC East, AFC North, because your top 2 are so good. Then the NFC West, then the NFC North.
Like, I am a Dak Prescott, I don't want to say hater.
Yeah, but
I am not impressed, but he's not 19.
no.
The man didn't he lead the league in passing
A
2
couple
years
of years
ago?
Yeah. Then I would go
Jalen
AFC
Hurts
East.
9? Come on.
AFC
Maybe a little
East
better.
would be, so mine would go AFC West, NFC East, AFC North, NFC West, NFC North, AFC East, and then the South, so you can do it however you want.
I saw this come over my timeline yesterday. I was like, shook, thank you.
Yeah, it's good.
Merry Christmas.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit, it's a little surprising to me, to be honest with you. The way that some of that plays out, that is definitely a little surprising to me.
Yeah.
All right. When we come back, we're going to dive into the Browns safety room. We're going to hear from Coach Banda and break down that room for you as we get ready here for the start of training camp in under a month.
Get ready.
Under a month.
Buckle up.
So I knew I said something about the East. I said NFC like an idiot.
Correct.
Makes sense. All right. We'll be back with more Cleveland Browns Daily brought to you by Ballybet. Welcome back to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. We head back to the podium now, presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day for a friend of the show and safeties coach for your Cleveland Browns, Coach Banda, from mandatory minicamp.
How big a year is it
You know.
in terms of his growth and development?
Huge. And he knows it. It's a big, big point. Year 3 in the system. A great opportunity to take advantage of a situation that he's worked hard to earn. He's done an excellent job in terms of preparing, taking advantage of situations like year 1 and to make the team. Now it's time to go out there and execute to the level that we believe he can and that he knows he can.
It seemed like Grant was getting a lot more comfortable towards the end of last year, especially playing in the box. Did you see that?
Yeah, I think Grant is really starting to touch, the true greatness that he can be. You see it. I know that we had whatever we had in terms of the season, but he had a phenomenal year. Reached the 100 tackle mark again, played really, really good football at the second level. So he's definitely he's got himself to a good spot. Now, where can I help him grow in other areas? We're focusing more on the third level for him right now, so that he can be a true complete safety in all those areas, take advantage of opportunities at the third level, and help us, create more plays. So definitely saw that.
It feels like your room was pretty consistent for the last 2 years. Right now you got a couple significant changes. So what's that like for you, and what have you seen in the couple of veterans that you brought in?
I'm earning my money now. The first 2 years, first year I earned my money. The second year was a lot of consistency. And now the third year is almost like year one again, without OG Rodney McLeod. So it's from scratch. I'm basically attacking it and approaching it like no one knows what they're doing, even a guy like Grant or Rocket, and building it from the top up, because we do have almost like 3 different rooms. We got like Grant, Chris, and Rocket who've been here. Then we got this vet group of Rayshawn, Casey, and Nick, and then we have a rookie. So it's just this really diverse room right now. So for me, it's been fun to just remind myself to go back to day one and teach from the ground up, which I think is also going to benefit the guys that have been in the room. But definitely earning my money. Coach Schwartz walked by one time early in the process of the spring. He goes, yeah, it ain't going to be easy like it was the last few years. So he reminded me pretty quickly.
Even
Go ahead, Kelsey.
even with those veterans that you guys brought in, like, how has their outside perspective, though, benefited you in kind of helping them learn the system and getting adjusted?
It's been good, because I think anytime you bring in new people to an organization, doesn't matter what you're doing, they have different perspectives, different way of doing things. They ask different questions, which is always good, because those questions are something maybe we didn't talk about before or work through. So it's nice to have those things, especially when we have as many as we have now. So they all coming from different places. But as a coach, it also reminds you to not assume that they know it, or when they say, yeah, it's like this, you got to be careful and say, well, is it exactly like we do it, or is it the way you kind of did it? So it's been really healthy for us, for the room.
Is Nick sort of a guy who can bounce between corner and safety?
He's played corner and nickel, obviously, in his career, but right now we are completely focused on playing safety. So I know, there was some just maybe questions on what he is. That guy is playing safety for us. I liked his skill set in the sense that he can do both things. That's always good. OG was a pass corner. Guys who have corner flex always do transition or can transition. The biggest thing is the growth that has to happen from corner to nickel, and the things that you have to do at safety does change. And he's in that process right now. He's done a good job of working at it, and I hope that can transition, into the season.
Casey, it seems like he makes plays everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
Why is he bouncing around?
I don't know. Couldn't answer that, to be honest with you, but I'm glad he's here. He obviously is a success in Atlanta. He had success at Pittsburgh. He's a guy that we kind of saw in the process that can make plays. He can provide position flex. He's a veteran. He goes and finds the ball, which obviously we got to be better at in terms of getting the ball. So he's a guy that can do all those things. I'm glad he's here. He's worked really hard since he's got here. We did have the room wasn't really complete till halfway through the spring. So it's been a little bit of a different process for him in terms of learning it, picking up, but he's done a good job.
Jim talked last week about how heavy safety you guys his team is. Do you think that's going to remain the same given the transition at your spot?
I think so. I know how big that package is for us. My whole career, I've been a very three-quarter safety type, scheme deal for me. So I understand the benefits and how that helps a play caller. I think it allows him to do a lot of different things, but at the same time keep the core of who he is and what we do schematically intact. I think that'll continue, but we need to find the pieces that can do it. I mean, the last 2 years we had it. We're still in the process of figuring out who those people will be and how we can operate to make that happen for us as a team.
Ron's talked about how your unit is like the nerve system.
Yeah.
Defense. So with that kind of mentality and mindset, like going into this season, how beneficial is that that's where they're headed to be that nerve system for the defense?
Look, bottom line is they have to be. The safety room has to fix problems. Tarv over there, right next to me. That's our job. Our job is to be the mainframe. Our job is to be able to take information, process it fast, and fix the things that need to be fixed or operate. This is the league. That's how it works. So it's absolutely necessary for those guys to be the nerve center, for us to be able to handle those things. But if you are going to say you're that, then you need to be capable of fixing those things, having those tools.
We're gonna make this the last one.
What? Okay. How rigid are you in terms of in the box versus free, deep, in terms of where you see guys? Because it seems like Grant fits more in the box, but how much is that kind of?
To answer your question, how rigid am I? I'm not. Now, I know certain safety coaches can be, and in the league could be very strong safety, free safety oriented, but I don't necessarily, from my past, believe that that's always what's best. Because especially in the league when you only have a couple of guys active and guys go down, they need to be able to play both. You need flex the way that offenses are changing in terms of FSL and motions and all that other stuff. So you need guys who can do both. So to answer your question, yeah, it is important to have the body types in certain spots. But the league and the way offenses are built now, they're going to put you in wherever they want you. So you need guys to be able to do both.
That's Brown safety coach Ephraim Banda, talking about his room, which is going to have a real different look this year. Rodney McLeod retired. DeAnthony Bell is gone. So that's going to be, those were, safeties 3 and 4 a year ago.
There are reinforcements coming.
Juan Thornhill is gone.
Yeah.
So 3 of your top 4 safeties, or top 5 certainly from a year ago, are gone. So we're going to take a look at what that safety room is going to look like. And the Browns have added in some veterans there. It could be 5 safeties at the end of the day when it's all said and done. We'll give you a look at what that looks like for you when we come back here on Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, an official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. All right, welcome back to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. The countdown is on. Browns football will be here before you know it. Lock in your spot now as a Browns season ticket member and score the lowest prices with no deposit needed. Buy online and check out your view for every epic matchup in the 2025 home slate. Visit browns.com/tickets now. All right, take a look at the safety room right here. Who is back? Well, Grant Delpit, obviously, he's back. He is the man. That's going to be your starting strong safety. And I think right now, as you look at it, also back and probably your starting free safety, and a guy who's a restricted free agent at the end of this year, is going to be Ronnie Hickman. Now, the Browns, in addition to those guys, they have Chris Edmonds, who has had a tremendous offseason. Coach Banda cannot stop talking about him. And then they brought in 3 veterans who have played a lot of football here in the National Football League. The first is DeMonte KZ. He was a former 5th-round pick of the Falcons back in 2017. He's got 17 career interceptions. He can play free safety or strong safety, but more of a free safety. They also brought in, and KZ, just for in case you're wondering, 107 games, 63 career starts, 17 picks. He was most recently with the Steelers. And then Rayshawn Jenkins, who the Browns signed, former 4th-round pick of the Chargers, also in 2017. He's played in 122 games, 89 starts. He's got 10 picks in his career. He's got a couple 100-tackle seasons under his belt as well. He is more of a backup strong safety, could be that big nickel, all of those things. Then you've got Edmonds, who I was talking about, who was an undrafted free agent last year at Arizona State. The Coach Banda is thrilled on. He is able, that kid can fly, he can move at his size, 6'2", 220 pounds, and he's running real quick. His mobile numbers his movement numbers are off the charts. So they're very excited about him. Donovan McMillan is a guy that he recruited, Coach Banda recruited. And then there's Nick Needham. And I think Nick Needham is an interesting one to keep an eye on. Former undrafted free agent out of Texas, El Paso. He's played in 63 games, 27 starts. He's got 6 picks in his career. He can play corner and safety. Working as a safety could be somebody who could be a big nickel for the Cleveland Browns as you look at it that way. Now, doesn't have a pick since 2021. He had 2 in each of his first 3 seasons in the league. But a veteran guy competing for a spot here. But it's an interesting room, Gibbe.
It is. And that leads us to the question. Fact or fiction, next to wide receiver, this is the position group with the most questions going into training camp. That's not named quarterback, I should say, because we know that's the biggest one. Dramatic pause.
I think there are 4 position groups that have kind of what I would call bigger questions around them.
All right.
Quarterback, obviously. Wide receiver, as you mentioned, like who's wide receiver 3? What does that room ultimately look like? Is there enough talent in that room ultimately? Linebacker without JOK, I think, is somewhat of a question mark. I mean, you drafted Carson Schlesinger, 33rd overall. Is he ready to roll right away? But I think you have some questions there.
I think you brought in some guys.
Yeah, you did. You brought in Baker. You brought back Devin Bush. I just mean more questions on how it's all going to shake out. And then in safety, I think it's, what is that? Because here's the thing about the linebacker room. So let's say you keep 5, okay? You've got Hicks. You've got Carson Schlesinger. They're locks. Then you've got Devin Bush. You've got Jerome Baker. You've got Mahmoud Diabate. You've got Winston Reed. You've got Buki Watson, who you drafted. Like, there's going to be tough decisions in that room, especially, and if JOK was there, even tougher. So I think that's what I mean why that room's like a little unsettled. What does it actually look like? And then safety, we don't know who's our third safety when we play that big dime. Who is that right now? I think your starters are going to be Delpit, and then it's going to be Hickman. And then we'll see, Jenkins and KZ, I think, are really going to compete for that role. And then Edmonds is a dark horse.
There's a lot there. I mean, I think we're all excited to see what Edmonds can do once the pads come on.
Well, yeah, just because when you hear coaches gush about a guy like that, then it's like,
and
all right,
keep gushing.
Can he do it when it matters? And I think that's going to be the question for him, because if he's to make this team, he's pushing a veteran off of this roster.
Correct.
So let's see what happens.
PFF safety rankings, the top 32 ahead of the upcoming season.
Edmonds, though, is the name to watch, I think, when you come out for training camp in this offseason and preseason. How does he do? Can he have, like, a big rise up?
the good news is we have one in the top 32. The bad news is we don't have two. Delpit's not in the top 32. But Ronnie Hickman is at number 24.
Excuse me?
Durability has been a concern for Hickman, who's played only 785 snaps over the first 2 seasons of his career. However, when he's on the field, his ability warrants his inclusion on this list. Hickman's 77.2 PFF overall grade in 2024 ranked 13th among safeties, similar to his 81.7 PFF run defense grade.
I like Ronnie Hickman a lot.
Love Ronnie Hickman. One of the top 32 safeties according to PFF.
Grant Delpit is one of the top 32 safeties in the National Football League.
I believe that as well.
And that is, to me, not even a question. Last year, a career high 111 tackles, 7 tackles for a loss, had a pass defense. Now, obviously, his best year was back in 22. He had the 4 picks, 10 passes defense, 105 tackles, and hopefully he can get back to that. I mean,
Gotta stay healthy.
Everybody on kind of the back of that defense, other than Denzel, had kind of a down year in some of their numbers. For Grant, this is obviously, I think he's a stud. He's definitely a top 32 safety. I like that room.
Top 5 PFF safeties going into the season. Kyle Hamilton, number 1 with the Ratbirds.
Okay.
Xavier McKinney, number 2 with the Packers.
Yep.
Jesse Bates with the Falcons.
Yep.
Antoine Winfield Jr. from Tampa Bay at number 4. Brian Branch.
That's who I was thinking
number
of.
5.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of from the corner.
Football Lions.
Yeah, that makes sense. And the Bengals just let Jesse Bates walk.
Yeah, they've made a lot of stupid decisions.
It's pretty wild, honestly, is what it is. They just let him walk out there. But if this team can be competitive early games, keep more neutral game scripts, allow the pass rush to disrupt, I really do think we have a chance to have kind of a big year, not only defensively, but for this back end in terms of taking the football away, doing all those things that, we want them to do. I think that is certainly, it's within the realm possibility for this to be a big, big, big comeback season for this group.
And they've got 2 great leaders leading them in Banda and Brandon Lynch.
Oh, yeah. Love
both guys.
Yes.
So, all right. One more segment, buddy.
All right. We'll be back. So much more to come. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, there it is on a first Friday.
Act accordingly.
Act accordingly. Yes. Good luck at the golf league. Now you said so.
I don't know.
Who's won it 2 years in a row?
My nephew.
Your nephew, and this
the
is
youngin. Like all the older guys are like, what the heck?
Well, do we need Yip Strickler to investigate him? Do you know? Are you familiar with Yip Strickler?
I am not.
Yip Strickler is a guy on X that is hilarious, and he investigates what if there could be sandbaggers out there. So if you win a net event 2 years in a row,
I will tell you, my nephew's definitely not the sandbagger.
He's going to go to the GIN.
My nephew shows up every week, ready to like shoot the lowest possible round, and he will go to great lengths to shoot the lowest possible round. If that means he shoots 65 because he's just pulling whatever out of his bag to get a good score, so be it. But
so what's his handicap?
He's got to be around. He just started playing golf like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
I got him hooked on it. He's a single digit. He's like a 9, maybe an 8.
Is he on the GIN? Like, could you find him? Could you look him up?
Yeah.
Oh, he's legit. All right.
Yeah.
Good. Then Yip Strickler. By the way, he's a very funny guy to follow though, because he like goes to member guests. And,
I got it now.
Finds people that
Matooch,
are doing.
I know you're listening. I know the 7 that you threw up on a par 4 a couple weeks ago on the 9th hole
30.
when you'd already won your match for the week. I know you're sandbagging.
Oh, that could make that's that kind of content that Yip really likes. He really dives into that kind of content there.
That's right.
Yeah, that'll be good stuff. All right, we'll be back tomorrow here as we get ready to wrap up the week. I'll be at Huntington Bank Field for a little bit tomorrow for UH.
There we
That'll
go.
be a lovely event. All right, thanks for listening. Next Level's next. Thanks for listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland.